Do movable weights actually work in golf driver technology? We've seen it, haven't we, over the last many years now, really, that we have weights in the back of drivers to determine the ball flight and to help us correct it when it comes to custom fitting. So I'm using the Ping driver as an example today. They have a 29 gram weight in the back of the driver, and they say pop it in the middle for neutral, a bit more towards the heel to help with the draw, and then more towards the toe to help with the fade. Okay, and we can use that to help counteract slices and hooks to help you dial your direction in. So let me hit a few shots. Gonna hit half a dozen shots with each setting. I want to see, does it actually make a difference? So same shaft, 10.5 degree, stiff shaft, 3 different settings. Let's hit a few shots. Let's see if we can see a difference. So starting with the neutral setting. Pretty good hit to begin with. Now the science behind it is all about, obviously, by having more weight in a certain area of the club head can really sort of influence the slowing down or the increasing of the speed of either the toe or the heel. So essentially in this neutral setting, it's just designed to hit it quite straight. Clearly everyone's shot shape is slightly different. Yeah, that was a pretty straight shot. Again, good driver, G440 Max. Really forgiving driver, generally quite a straight driver. Yeah, nice straight ball flight there. Interesting enough, what Ping have done this year, it's quite a small weighting port this, so it's quite narrow at the back, but they say that it is all optimized to help you move that weight about. Decent hit. And for me, that the main thing around this, we find now with custom fitting, it's just that extra level of detail that helps with the fitting process, assuming it works. We talk about loft, shaft, head, adjusting the loft sleeve, and then obviously into this weighting port is that kind of final piece, really, isn't it? Yeah, really straight hit again there. In this neutral setting, I'm getting a pretty straight flight today, aren't I? So it's good. 6 good hits with that neutral setting, hitting it pretty solid today. Very interested to see now if we try and put a similar swing on it, does it actually change that ball flight? Before we get into that, if you would like a free swing analysis, simply follow me on Skillest. The link is in the description down below. You will get a full analysis of your swing, along with me demonstrating exactly what you need to work on, including some drills to help you reach your goals this year. Back to the video. So now moving this into the fade bias setting, which essentially is moving the weight more towards the toe, trying to slow the toe down through impact. And it's ultimately for people that hook the ball. So if you're somebody that hooks the golf ball, just putting this weight into the toe should help you get rid of that left miss, or certainly help. We know the swing is always the issue, but trying to get a drive that's going to help you, combat your miss is what it's all about, isn't it? Okay, so into this fade setting, 29 gram weight into the toe. Straight again. Definitely didn't see a fade there. Yeah, trying to move that way. In terms of that ball flight characteristics, you're probably going to see more spin. You saw there at 4,000 spin. It is high, but you generally see that off a left to right shape. Yeah, it's trying to move right, isn't it? Okay, a couple more. Again, a little bit, you'd imagine all this tech's robot tested. So, if it's put on a robot, then essentially, it's the same thing exactly every time. So you would imagine it does work. I'm definitely seeing it a little bit. And for me, historically, my bad shot would be left. So actually having that weight in the toe, it makes me feel like I can go at it a bit more without the fear of it going left, which is great. Okay, so we're now going to move it into the draw setting. I would say probably the most popular setting I put it in. The vast majority of golfers do slice the ball, so moving that weight more towards the heel to try and encourage the closure rate of the toe is a more common setting than the fade setting. So really getting that 29 gram weight into the heel of the golf club to try and encourage that face to close in a bit more. So let's see if it actually works. Yeah, it's trying to turn over, isn't it? You know, we do see, we have seen in the past like draw bias drivers, but I think I like the idea, like the concept of a neutral head, moving it around. It does help from a fitting point of view, and ultimately you can move it back as well if you work on your game. Pretty straight again. It's turning over a little bit, but it is minimal. What you'll notice there, that spin rate comes down. Remember that fade at like 4,000. Spin's trying to come down a touch there. Looks to be a better number. Yeah, they all, to be fair, want to start a little left and they do want to turn over. Yeah, I have been playing neutral to fade recently, so I've not really seen that shape too much, so must be doing something. Pretty straight again. Very nice. Again, good driver this, isn't it? G440 Max. It's very forgiving. Good one to do a test with like this actually. It's quite a reliable head. Quite similar again, it starts off straight and just turns over a little bit. Not a lot, but it seems to be doing something. Okay, just one more. Very interested to see the dispersion here. Yeah, good shot, nice and straight. Quite an interesting test. You know, quite often I'll do club reviews, but I thought this would be quite interesting, just to see if it does actually work, you know. Let's take a look. I did feel a slight difference, but let's have a look at the dispersion. Okay, so neutral in the white, draw in the blue, fade in the orange. So you can see it, can't you? You know, I mean, you can definitely see the white in the middle. Yes, there's a bit of a right and a left in there. You can certainly see that draw favouring the left side, and the fade, you know, you can see what, 3 shots right at target. So it's definitely doing something. And looking at the numbers here, you know, really club speed, similar. Ball speed, a little bit more with the draw. Launch angle, quite similar. Height, ironically, you know, highest with the fade. You probably would expect that, wouldn't you? Spin numbers are quite different, certainly between draw and fade. Fade's averaging at just under 3,400. Draw is 2,700. And yeah, again, that will correlate with what we're seeing. Distance is quite drastically different. If we're looking at the top two in particular, draw 254 for 275. Fade 243 for 260. The big one I wanted to really look at were the kind of last two numbers here. So particularly this side total. So a draw is 38 feet left of the target, and fade on average is 5 feet right of the target. Neutral is 7 feet, so that's pretty similar. So for me, like, I think in general it does work. How much it works? Minimal amount really. It definitely helps when it comes to fitting, but I wouldn't rely on it completely to get rid of your slice or your hook.